in racing.
Straight at you on RPM tonight, Daytona style. A new century, a new season, a new chase. Chapter 1 of the 34-race novel. Teammates on the front row. Will the champ be upstaged by his stablemate? Or will another Dale place number 8 in the hands of fate? Pontiac Power gearing up and ready. To protect against the sophomore slump, Tony Stewart will need to stay steady. Endless amounts of change have brought drivers new hope, while 8 wide-eyed rookies begin the grind and will be forced to learn and cope. The quest for the Cup will be a long fight. We begin the journey on RPM tonight.
RPM tonight from the Daytona International Speedway is presented by Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
Quiet on the banks of Daytona now, but not before. A terrific afternoon of racing. Might have started off a little slowly, but the people who were here, an estimated 190,000 or so, went home with a little slice of history. Hi there, glad to have you with us on RPM tonight. I'm Reese Davis, always pleased to be joined by Benny Parsons, 1975 champion of this event. As you probably know, Dale Jarrett's car banged up a little bit in happy hour on Saturday. Coming into this race, Benny, he had been so dominant. Take us inside the mindset of a driver who's had his world turned upside down at the last minute.
And that's exactly what happened. It was turned upside down. Things had been perfect. Won the pole, the Bud Shootout qualifier, the Bud Shootout. Then second on Thursdays, Bud Gatorade 125. And then all of a sudden, 10, 15 minutes before the end of happy hour, he gets a bump from Jeff Gordon when he backs off the throttle. Around he goes across the apron of the racetrack, and they have to replace almost the entire front and nose of the car, the sheet metal. And just the look on his face, is this thing going to be the same car that I was in yesterday afternoon? That apprehension had to be in his mind.
And nobody would really know until they dropped the green, and that's exactly what they did with Jarrett in the car that Todd Parrott and the crew got fixed on the pole. But on lap 34 of 200, one guy that would give nobody any more trouble, Jeff Gordon, not a ray of hope. After he breaks an oil line fitting, he would finish 4 laps back. A lot of straight line racing in this one, Benny.
A lot of it. The new spring and shock rules that NASCAR mandated for this event had a lot of cars in a straight line. I would expect before Talladega, NASCAR will probably do something about this issue.
Only saw one lead change in the Twins, and it didn't look as if we were going to see many more. Mark Martin looking for that first Daytona 500 win. No run flat technology. Had to pit before he wanted to, and Tony Stewart, drive, short, choppy steps as he moved the blocking sled. And then Bobby Labonte, himself a rolling tire across pit road, and more trouble for Stewart in the pits. Coming out of there, he hits his tire man, Mike Lingerfeld. Lingerfeld broke his right leg, just glad it wasn't worse. Martin leads for a while, but knows he's not on the right pit cycle, but he got a break, Benny.
Joe Nemechek loses an engine. Oil on the racetrack, NASCAR throws the caution, which gets Mark Martin back on the proper cycle with the leaders.
He's in there with the leaders, lap 157. That's John Andretti's 43, brought out another caution. Here's Johnny Benson. Only took on 2 tires. He took the lead.
A huge gamble, but his car ran so well until right near the end.
14 laps to go. Martin looking for the lead. Jarrett does not go with him. They've made a deal, but things happen out there racing. We'll talk about that in a bit. Then a racing deal. Dale Earnhardt, Michael Waltrip getting together. Boy, tough weekend for Waltrip, who flipped in the Busch race. Fortunately, both drivers unhurt. Elliott Sadler involved too, and with 4 laps to go, here comes Jarrett all over Johnny Benson.
That restart is exactly what Dale Jarrett needed to get that head of steam in the Ford Quality Care car. And with just a lap and a half to go, Jimmy Spencer blows that right front tire in the wall, the caution flag, and the white flag for Dale Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett would finish this thing up under yellow. He finished at 70 miles per hour, which is now legal on most interstates, and was also quick enough to give Dale Jarrett his 3rd Daytona 500 victory in the rebuilt car. Jeff Burton finishes second, his 2nd career top 5 finish here at Daytona. You see the top 6, couple of strong runs back through the field. Got Bobby Labonte in there. But the champion once again, Dale Jarrett for the 3rd time, and he's with Bill Weber.
Well, 1 year ago, Dale Jarrett rolled his car in the Daytona 500. This year, he rolled it into victory lane. Your third Daytona 500 win. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's just incredible to think of how few people have won 3 of these. And I'll tell you something that meant as much to me as anything. The money's nice, the trophy's nice, but as I was coming down pit road, it's great to get the congratulations of other crew members and things. But Richard Petty made his way out onto pit road to shake my hand, and that sent chills down my spine. That's just incredible to think the king of this sport, the man that's won 7 of these things, would come out there and take the time to do that.
What a roller coaster ride for you, though. Winning the pole, winning the shootout, then the final minutes of happy hour to victory lane in Daytona.
Yeah, it looked like our great week had gone to pieces there yesterday afternoon late, but that's just a credit to this group of people that we have, this organization.
How confident can a driver be in that situation, Dale?
Todd Parrott puts me in it, I'm confident, and that's what I told him. I said, you know, I'll drive whatever you put out there because I know it's going to be good. If you didn't think that we could fix this and get it right, then you wouldn't send it out there because he knows how big this race is. He loves to win here, and I was very confident going in. I didn't know what it was going to do the first lap or two as far as getting the front end back exactly right, and I didn't want to take Ricky out or anything, so I gave it a little extra room there, but it worked out for us.
Very early, but you are on top of the points. Quite a different situation from 1 year ago.
Yeah, it really is. We started out, as you said, we rolled here. Now it's much better rolling into here, but you know, it's where we wanted to be to get a good start this year, make sure that we're going to be a contender for the championship.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Dale Jarrett in victory lane in the Daytona 500 for the 3rd time in his Winston Cup career.
Bill, Dale, thanks a lot. And look at how Dale Jarrett stacks up against none other than the king himself in their first 12 starts in the Daytona 500. Equal number of wins. Jarrett 1 short in the top 5, but 1 more pole than the king had. And Benny, this was just a dominating performance throughout Speed Weeks by the 88 team. Can you compare it to anything you've seen in the past as far as their total dominance in the qualifying, in the Bud Shootout, and then in the race?
I don't remember since the restrictor plates have been in effect since 1988 anything with the dominant force of Dale Jarrett. 1985, Bill Elliott, but DJ won the pole on Saturday. And then in the Bud Shootout qualifier, he is the victor. And then he comes back and wins the Bud Shootout about an hour later.
And then he comes up in happy hour, and then the mishap that we alluded to earlier looked as if he was just a stone-cold lock to win the race, and then this goes wrong.
And he does a great job to keep the car off the wall. But look, I was talking about all the work that they did. The right front fender, a brand new left front fender. And you wonder, can they put the car back together? But with 4 laps to go, Johnny Benson, the 10 car leading the race, here comes DJ and takes a checkered flag on the caution flag.
You know, it's sort of reminiscent them coming back, much like 1992. Davey Allison wrecked before the Twins, had to go the backup car. He ended up winning the race. Car owner that year?
Robert Yates.
Robert Yates, just like this time. Well, the race finishes under yellow for the 3rd time in 4 years. And the man who was on Jarrett's tail at the end resigned himself to the fact that the yellow would rob him of 1 last shot, but did leave satisfied with the racing.
That right there just shows you, that after the 125s, everybody was really concerned about it. But I thought that was a great race, and we don't have to have these things where you can run 4 wide all the time. Just put it on a good show, just like we were.
It might have been a little bit boring in front for the fans, but back there a couple of times where I was at, it definitely wasn't boring. I mean, it was a pretty wild race, and especially there with about 40 laps to go. Dale Jr. got going down the back straight away, and he tried to cut down on Mark, and he tried to come up on me, and it got pretty wild there a time or two, but we had a good time.
If I could have gotten in front, I could have stayed in front. But, track position was everything in the world. That was the whole deal. And I didn't have the track position. I lost a lot in the pits, and it's too bad. We did a lot of practice in an off-season and had some mistakes today, and it hurt us.
I knew it was coming. I tried to block him high. I knew he was going to sling down. I slung down the same with him as best I could. And he was hanging onto the bumper there, and I couldn't do a thing about it. And I didn't want to wreck everybody. I did what I could. I tried to stay as low as I could, run him as low as I could. 4 Fords against 1 Pontiac ain't going to happen. I can tell you that right now.
All I ever wanted to do is be a contender down here. I just asked to have a chance, and today we had a chance. And I'd rather have tried to win and lost than not tried. I could have sat there. I did get lied to, but it was a good run. I'm proud of this race team. We did have a shot at it. That's all I ever asked for.
Who broke the deal with you?
Never mind.
Mark said that he made several deals throughout the day. Was the final deal the one that did the 88 welch?
Well, the 88 did welch, but, when a deal's made, there isn't a signed contract And a deal is only a deal for a while. So whether Dale thinks that he did what he said he would do as long as he said he would do it, or whether he feels bad about it, I don't know. But he didn't do what he'd agreed to do. If Mark had been behind him, I'm sure Mark would have done what Dale had expected, and Dale didn't do that to Mark.
Okay, so obviously some people are a little irritated, Benny, and that's to be expected. But what about making these deals? How bonding are they? When are they bonding?
You know, when I was driving a race car, I would make deals with someone. We'll run together. And sometimes we would run together for 30, 40 laps. But as soon as a better situation comes along for you, you're going to dump that other guy. I mean, that's just the way it is. And Dale Jarrett was going to Mark Martin, and he looked up, and here, there's a better run on the inside. He and Mark are going to be two cars trying to go by Johnny Benson. And he looks up in his mirror, and there's four guys on the inside. That's a much better drafting situation for him with the 99, the 94. So he jumped down for a better situation. And again, that will always happen. You're going to go with the best situation for yourself. And the deals will all go away with those last few laps.
For all the talk about teams and deals and all of that kind of stuff, still an individual sport when it comes right down to it. You have to look out for yourself.
It really is. And Dale Jarrett he has apologized many, many times to Mark Martin. Mark, I was going with you, but all of a sudden I had a better deal. I had to take it.
All right, Benny, thanks a lot. Always a pleasure, enjoyable, and astute analysis from the 1975 Daytona 500 champion. Some more results from this edition of the 500. Terry Labonte finished just behind his brother. Johnny Benson ended up shuffled all the way back to 12th. We're going to talk to him in a bit, and we'll also provide more spoils to the victors. Dale Jarrett picking up his third Daytona 500 win, and we'll talk to the man largely responsible next.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. And all 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Even top-of-the-line 80,000-mile touring tires, all sizes 4 for $199. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us. Welcome back. We are talking to the man who discovered 10-10-220. Now, Professor, did you ever dream it would be such a tremendous hit?
I never had a moment's doubt. After all, a 20-minute call for only 99 cents. Think of it.
Yeah. At my house, we dialed 10-10-220. We get all our calls up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents. And just 7 cents a minute after that.
With great rates like that, there's got to be a monthly fee.
Never.
It's like a dream come true.
I never could have done it without him.
Dial 10-10-220. I bequeath my Pizza Hut empire to Teddy.
We're gonna create the ultimate pizza. Let's see some cheese. I want 6 kinds of cheese. Give me the toppings department. More toppings. More.
What toppings?
Everybody say ultimate.
The new Ultimate Cheese Pizza, loaded with the topping of your choice. 6 kinds of cheese, 50% more of it, and an incredible price. $8.99 medium, large, just $2 more.
But sir, that price. You like your job, money man? It's a good price, sir. Excellent price.
The Ultimate Cheese Pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Great parts for these vehicles and yours. That's the Mopar difference.
RPM Tonight from the Daytona International Speedway is presented by Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
The wait don't you talk. Y'all here early this morning. Stick around. There's more fun to come. It's Daytona 500. You know, we had a really good backup car, but we felt like we could get this car fixed. A lot of hard work, but like I've said Saturday, a week ago, effort equals results.
How close are you guys going to be pushing the clock to get it to the line?
What time's the race start? 12:15? That means we got to be there by, what, 12:14, right?
We're ready to begin the 42nd Daytona 500.
Field down blind, looking for the green flag. It is in the air, and the Daytona 500 is underway.
DJ goes slow to try to get by. Benson goes slow, but DJ is on the move.
Dale Jarrett becomes just the 4th driver to win the Daytona 500 3 times. He is the 2000 winner of the race.
Guess you made it on the line by 12:14, huh?
A little bit earlier than that, about 45 minutes, I guess.
Todd Parrott, the crew chief for the 88, the champion of the Daytona 500, joining us now. And Todd, you walked into that garage area like a gunslinger this morning. More fun to come? Were you that confident that the car was going to be okay?
Yeah, after the guys, after practice was over, Dale asked me, what do you think? And I said, well, it depends on how everything comes out. If all the chassis stuff's okay, Brad and the guys put the car on front end plates. The biggest thing I was worried about was the front suspension.
Let's get one thing cleared up now. NASCAR has garage rules, garage hours in which you can work. You guys got some extra hours in which to work. Did you get preferential treatment over what another team might have got?
No, NASCAR is great to work with. We had our trouble. They let us stay in there for a little while, but it's just a lot of work, and NASCAR was willing to work with us. They let us stay a little while longer because they knew we had a lot of work to do. They could see that. We prepared to come down here to lose this race car. That was our goal, to put that car in that museum.
Well, that's the way you want to lose it, not like the way you lost it last year. Right?
Exactly right. And when Saturday afternoon when we had that trouble, I wasn't expecting to lose it like that either. That we had a plan, and we knew what we had to do. So I knew when I walked through that gate this morning, when all the chassis stuff was okay, I knew that I had guys capable of fixing that race car, and I knew that we were still going to have a car capable of winning Daytona 500. I really didn't know that until about 5 laps into the race, when my stomach was sitting there churning and I couldn't eat no lunch, and somebody offered me a sandwich, and I went, no, I better not eat that right now. And when Dale come on radio, he said, yeah, everything's fine. Then when he took the lead and led for a long time, I knew everything was okay.
So when you got down to the end of the race and you were able to make the deal with Mark Martin's team and it didn't work out that way, tell me how the art of the deal, how that goes down, and then how bonded you are to that once the race starts to unfold in front of you.
I feel as bad as Dale does about the deal. I was listening. I was scanning Mark. I was scanning Rusty. I had them on our frequency. We both, all three of us ran together all day long. And, when they got talking, when Mark talked about the guys getting 2 tires in front of him and Dale was lined up behind him, he said something. I heard Mark say something about get with the 88 car and make sure that, hey, when we go, we're going to go to the high side to pass these guys. Well, I walked down to see Jimmy Finning and Jack Roush to tell them, hey, that's our plan. We're going to get lined up. The 6 car, the 88, the 2, the 94, whoever it be, and get by these guys with 2 tires. Because 2 tires won't win you the Daytona 500. I learned that in 1996 when we beat Dale Earnhardt. The way everything was working, shaking out, he looked up in the mirror, saw the 99 car going low. Man, obviously he was going to, if the 99 went, the 2 car was right behind him, so we were going to end up about 5th or 6th. Mm-hmm. So he had to take that opportunity. And, he feels bad about it. Trust me, I feel bad about it. But that's racing. What are you going to do?
Have to try to win the race, and that's what you guys did. Terrific job getting that car in shape, and congratulations on your 2nd Daytona 500 win.
That's cool.
All right, Todd Parrott, crew chief for the 88 and champion of the 42nd Daytona 500. Still to come, the man that they nudged out of the way, Johnny Benson, had a terrific run, got himself a sponsor. We'll talk to him next.
Experience Comcast Digital Cable. Over 200 channels of fantastic programming. Up to 45 premium channels. HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, The Movie Channel, Encore, and Stars. Plus an interactive program guide. 45 channels of CD quality music and more Comcast in demand. Call and order Comcast Digital Cable today at 875-3333 and receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. More choices, more movies, digital picture and sound. Comcast Digital Cable.
Your local cable company knows a thing or two about what Hoosiers value most, because we're Hoosiers too. From the customer service representatives who answer your questions to the on-site technicians who ensure that you receive all the memorable programs you enjoy on cable TV. Collectively, Indiana's cable systems hire hundreds of friendly, hardworking Hoosiers, giving back to the Indiana economy. Hoosiers helping Hoosiers. Now that's a winning combination. Cable, touching lives in every community.
Tonight on ESPN at 6 Sports Center. Then it's Big Monday beginning at 7 with UConn St. John's, followed at 9 by Oklahoma State Mizzou, and at midnight it's UNLV at Utah. On ESPN2 at 6:30 RPM tonight. At 7 it's Italy versus New Zealand in the America's Cup Finals, and at 9:30 the Blues skate against the Mighty Ducks. And on ESPN Classic at 8 the 73 Masters, followed at 9 by A Day to Remember for Ryne Sandberg and the Cubs. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
More results from the Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 13th. He ran with the lead pack for most of the day. His father also was up front for quite a while, but ended up coming home in 21st place. Well, the man to my right came to Daytona with no sponsor on the hood. Just this morning, he put the Lyco stickers on there. And Johnny Benson, I'm guessing they think they made a good decision after your terrific run today, finishing in 12th and nearly winning the thing.
I'll tell you what, we had an awesome race car today, and just a little short, but I knew the Fords are coming. I knew there's going to be trouble there at the end, and but I'll tell you what, I'm proud of all these guys on Tyler Jet Motorsports team, and we're glad Lyco's come on board last night. It's been a week or two working on this extremely hard, and they finally got it done last night, put stickers on it today, and like I say, pretty proud of all these guys here in this team.
Take me through that last restart. When you saw the caution come out, was that working to your disadvantage at that point?
Well, it's going to be tough when you're the only Pontiac, and then there's a couple of Fords sitting behind you, and they were talking up there, saying, okay, we're going to really hang them out bad, and I knew it was coming. I'd like to have seen it happen under green. Maybe fifth was the worst way to finish, but you know, no matter what, we had a great race. We had a really good race team here, and for us to go out there and lead some laps, be up front, finish 12th is nothing to be ashamed about at all, especially Dale Jarrett behind you, you know, the last to go. If somebody's going to, maybe I'd rather have somebody else there, but it didn't matter. At least we had a great race.
I know all those Fords were sitting behind you, but were you working the radios? Was somebody working to try to get somebody to help you there at the end and fight the other guys off?
I don't believe there's going to be any help for me. I was
no
really
cash
surprised.
offers or anything?
There, between the Fords, there might have been, not the Pontiac. But I still, like I say, I can't be any prouder than these guys. James Inch made an excellent call with the 2 tires at the end, and you know, the top 3 or 4 of us there did that, and we were ones that was able to hang on and stay up there. And sure, I would have hated to see the caution, but it doesn't matter. The caution happened, and we ended up 12th, and like I say, had a really good race for us.
You know, you go to your sponsor's webpage and it says, go get it right beside it, and you click on that. You just about clicked on it and went and got it in this one. Johnny, terrific run, finishing 12th, very nearly winning the Daytona 500 for your first race win. Better luck next week. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
And Johnny and the fellas will be at the Rock. Winston Cup, as you see there at the bottom of the screen. Everybody gearing up for action next weekend. There's your schedule. RPM tonight rolls on after the break.
Gearing Up is brought to you by Toyota. Every day belongs to you. Make it count. Toyota. Every day.
The ability to have hands-on brewmasters working with the finest ingredients.
In the barley fields and in the hop fields, everyone has a genuine passion and commitment to upholding the highest standards.
Quality, freshness, attention to detail. Blend those things and you have what Budweiser is all about.
With a 180 horsepower VVTLI engine, 6-speed transmission, 16-inch alloy wheels, a cockpit-like interior, and a price dramatically less than most jet-powered vehicles. Wings have just become overrated. Introducing the next Celica. The NHL on ESPN. This is the game.
Blues, Sharks, Wednesday at 10 on ESPN2.
Body of a pickup, soul of a race car, and horsepower by the truckload. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series presents the Florida Dodge Dealers 400. Saturday at 3:30 on ESPN2.
Kyle Petty made a nice move up from his 42nd starting spot. Rookies Compton and Blaney were after that. DW moved up from the past champions provisional, comes home 32nd in his final Daytona 500. But it was Dale Jarrett who won the No Bull Million, which earlier seemed like a 1,000,000-to-1 shot. Here's Matt Yoakum.
Speed Weeks is usually a game of chess. Teams rarely show their cards until the green flag. But Dale Jarrett and the Yates crew played by their own rules. From the time they unloaded, everyone knew they had the car to beat. Sunday, the 88 proved it.
No, there wasn't any doubt at any time. Even when I got shuffled back one time by Earnhardt and Junior and a couple of others, there still wasn't any doubt that I had time. But passing was difficult. I'll say that. You know, the car out front had an advantage, and it made it more difficult to pass. You really had to team up, and teaming up sometimes wasn't even good enough. But until they threw the checkered flag, I was going to fight to the end.
Man, I'm just finally. It's over.
He ran awful good, and you know, that's quite an accomplishment to come down and win the pole and win the race. And they won the Winston Million. They did it all. They won everything.
This car right here, since the first day it hit the racetrack, is driven so good. We have not touched nothing on it. We have not touched a bump slug, upper control arm, nothing. This car is just, there's magic in it.
Speed Weeks went by the book until Saturday afternoon, but not even a wounded race car with sheet metal and suspension damage could derail their run toward a victory.
When we sat down to look what we should do, get the backup car out or fix this, he knew how good a car he had here, and he knew his fabricators. And when NASCAR told him that we would have enough time to fix it, they came in at 4:45 this morning.
Well, I was at my 10-year-old's birthday party at the time. It means a lot. I mean, it hurt to leave my daughter, but I look at it as her birthday present just got bigger.
Went around trying to collect all the parts and tools we're going to need, because we really, none of us knew how bad it was, so we just basically took everything we could fit on the plane.
We said, hey, we're wrecked, we're going to fix it, it's going to be right, but let's go for it. Let's put all the risky stuff in, and we applied that extra 2 or 3 horsepower, and that's all it took.
1 year ago, Dale Jarrett left Daytona with a 37th place finish and slightly bruised championship dreams. Jarrett came back to the beach in July, won the race, and cruised to his first career championship. Obviously, Jarrett's not spotting anyone any points this year in chasing his second title. I'm Matt Yoakum, ESPN.
And look at this exclusive fraternity that Jarrett's pledged. Petty, Yarborough, and Bobby Allison, the only others to win the 500 at least 3 times. Hey, 4 more, and DJ catches the king. Speaking of the king, John Kernan is back in Charlotte, 6:30 Eastern Time for RPM Tonight on Monday.
The same passion and dedication that drive our racing programs also drive the way we create parts for high-performance vehicles and high-performing vehicles like yours. Mopar, great parts for great vehicles on the track and in your driveway. That's the Mopar difference.
Nice seats. Watch this. Excuse me, sir. I showed you a Wendy's chicken nugget for your seat. Sure. This is more like it, man. I can do better.
Nuggets for your seats? Sure.
Wendy's chicken nuggets are irresistible pieces of all white meat. Best yet, they're just 99 cents. It's a small price to pay for great chicken.
Sir, nuggets for your seat.
How do you think I got here? Don't forget the nuggets.
Big news from Blockbuster. With new extended rentals, you can keep your movies 12 hours longer. Now they're not due back till noon, so you'll never have to hurry through a movie to get it back by midnight.
Rent Double Jeopardy, February 22nd at Blockbuster, and keep it 12 hours longer. Framed for a crime she never committed. She's after the truth, and they're after her. Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd star in the action thriller Double Jeopardy, rated R, guaranteed to be there at Blockbuster.
The race is on to claim the oldest trophy in sports as Italy sails in hostile waters against defending champion New Zealand in the America's Cup Finals. Who will steal the wind and bring home the prize? America's Cup 2000, Italy versus New Zealand, tonight at 7 on ESPN2.
RPM Tonight from the Daytona International Speedway is presented by Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
Chose these drivers for your racing fantasy league. I'm sure you had a good car and you guys worked hard, but they didn't score many points. Nemechek's debut in the 33, not what he had hoped for, and Bobby Hamilton is the guy that wound up bringing up the rear. Well, they often call the Daytona 500 the Super Bowl of Winston Cup, and certainly it is, but it's also just the first step on a very long road. We're off to a fast start, and thankfully, we were able to avert some potential tragedies. We've enjoyed ourselves. We hope you have too. I'm Reese Davis. We'll see you next time.
the worst racing I've seen at Daytona in a long, long time.
RPM Tonight is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com.
Las Vegas, Nevada, the city of lights, where anything goes. And we are just 40 miles south through the desert in Primm, Nevada, at the California-Nevada state line. Here in an earlier round, the strongman world was taken by surprise when four-time world champion Magnus Magnuson failed to qualify.